For each of the examples that we're going to do in this video, the sole purpose is to find an equation given the requirements in each question. Alright, so let's say I have a list of questions here. We're going to try them all. First one is to find a line through points 0, 3 and -2, 4. Now previously it was stated that you have the slope formula and the point slope formula to find the equation of a line that is going through 2 points. Alright, the slope formula is the following. You have m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Why are we using this first? Because we're finding the slope between these 2 points. What is the slope of the line that would connect these 2 points? That's how you find it. Alright, y2, you would have 4 minus 3, and x2, that's going to be -2 or -2, minus 0. Okay, so here we have 1 over -2, but let's put the negative on the outside. So the slope is going to be -1/2. Now you're going to use the point slope formula. And that is the following. You have y minus y1 equals, you could use either y1 or y2 here, it doesn't really matter. But then you're going to have m bracket x minus x1. All you have to do is plug in m, a y coordinate, and an x coordinate, and you're going to get your formula. So you have y minus, let's say 3 equals -1/2 bracket x minus 0. So you have y equals, you distribute the -1/2 to the x and to the 0, you get -1/2 x, and you add 3 to both sides, you get plus 3. That is the equation that goes through points 0, 3 and -2, 4. The next question is the following. You have slope as 7, and it goes through the point going through the point 1, -2. This is pretty simple as well. Same as the previous step, you use the point slope formula. You have y minus y1 equals m x minus x1. And you plug in y1, m, and x1. So you have y minus -2 equals 7 bracket x minus 1. Alright, now negative and negative make it positive, so let's just change that quickly. Let's do that. Plus 2. So you get y equals 7x minus 7, because you distribute the 7 to the x and to the -1, so you have minus 7, and you subtract 2 from both sides to get rid of the 2 in the left side, so then you have minus 2. So then the equation is y equals 7x minus 7 minus 2, that's minus 9. That is the equation of the line that goes through point 1, -2 and has a slope of 7. For the next question, you have a slope of 2 and a y-intercept of 4. This one is really straightforward. You already know the y-intercept is going to be the b value in your slope-intercept form of the equation. What is the slope-intercept form? You have y equals mx plus b. M is 2 and b is 4. So you have y equals 2x plus 4 as the equation of the line that has a slope of 2 and a y-intercept of 4. Let's do the next question right here. You have an x-intercept equal to 8 and a y-intercept equal to -3. Now, the key thing here is to find the actual point that is the x-intercept and the y-intercept of that line. You know that the line is going to cross the x-axis at 8. Well, what does that mean for the y-coordinate? That means that the y-coordinate is 0. So you have your first point as 8, 0. And your second point is going to be, well, it's going to cross the y-intercept at -3. And the the y-axis is when x equals 0. So you have 0, -3. And now to find the equation of this line that goes through these 2 points, you would use the same method as last time. You would find the slope. That's y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So you have -3 minus 0. That's just -3. And then you have 0 minus 8. That's -8. Alright, well, you have negative and negative. They're going to cross out. So you have 3 over 8 as your slope. Let's just rewrite that. 3 over 8 as your slope. And then you use the point slope formula. You have y minus y1 equals mx minus x1. So you have y. Let's use the first point. You could use this one, but I'm seeing it's going to be much better if you use the first point, because y1 is 0. So you have y equals 8, not 8, what am I doing? 3 over 8 x minus 8. No, that doesn't make sense. So you have 3 over 8x minus 8. Now if you expand that, you have 3 over 8x minus 3, which is the y-intercept given in the question. The equation of the line that goes through that x-intercept of 8, 0 and that y-intercept of 0, -3 is y equals 3 over 8x minus 3. This is the second last question. You have the requirements as the line going through the point. (5, 3), and it's parallel. Say parallel to line 2x plus 4y plus 2 equals 0. Okay, you're finding the equation of a line, but you have the equation of another line, and these two lines are parallel. What does that mean for the slope? That means the slopes are exactly the same. So you have to find the slope of this line first. Then you use the point slope formula with this point to find the equation. Okay, how do you find the slope to this equation? This form, that is what you would call the standard form for the equation of a line. Why? Because all the variables are to one side. All the coefficients are to one side along with the variables, and all the constants are to one side. To the other side, you have 0. The solution to this equation would be the x value and the y value that would make the left side equal to 0. That's a whole other question. For now, though, let's find the slope of that line, of that equation. How do you find the slope? Well, you change the form. You're in standard form. Let's change it to slope-intercept form. So let's have 2x plus 4y plus 2 equals 0. For the point-intercept form, the slope-intercept form, you have the slope and the intercept on the right side, and you're only left with the y variable on the left side. So that's what we have to do here. Let's bring the minus 2x and the plus 2 to the right side by subtracting those from both sides. After you do that, you're going to divide by 4 on both sides. But let's do the first step first, which was bring negative 2x and negative 2 to the right side. Then you divide by 4. You end up with y equals negative 2x minus 2, all of that over 4. And you can simplify this. You have y minus 1/2 x minus 1/2. There you go. You have the slope-intercept form for that second line. And according to this, the slope is going to be negative 1/2. There you go. You already have your slope and the point you're going to use in the point-slope formula. So you have y minus y1 equals m x minus x1. Y minus y1 is 3, so you have y minus 3 equals negative 1/2. Bracket x minus x1 is 5, so you have 5. And then you solve the equation. So you have y equals negative 1/2 x plus 5 over 2, because you distribute the slope into the bracket, and then you bring the negative 3 to the right side by adding a 3 to both sides, so you have plus 3. You already have your slope. Now you have to add these two numbers to find what your intercept is going to be. Well, the denominator of this 3 is a 1. To find a common denominator, we can just multiply the 3 over 1 by 2 over 2. So you would have 6 over 2. 6 over 2 plus 5 over 2 is 11 over 2. So now you have y equals negative 1 over 2 x plus 11 over 2. That is the equation of the line that goes through point 5, 3 and is parallel to 2x plus 4y plus 2 equals 0. And the last question for today is the following. You have a y-intercept, I'm not going to write the whole thing, as 4 and is perpendicular, let's just say perp, to y equals negative 2 over 3 x plus 3. Similar to the previous question, however, we have a y-intercept instead of a point, and now instead of the slope being parallel to the slope of another line, it's going to be perpendicular. Remember the term, the negative reciprocal. You already know what a reciprocal is. That is when you flip the numerator and the denominator of a number. Then you add the negative. So the negative reciprocal of negative 2 over 3 is, well, you flip it, that's going to be 3 over 2. When you multiply this by a negative, you have a negative and a negative, that's going to be positive. So it's just 3 over 2. So therefore, the slope is going to be 3 over 2. The y-intercept means the line is crossing the y-axis at y equals 4. The y-axis is going to be wherever x is 0, always. So the point to use in your point-slope form is going to be 0, 4. Alright, so you have y minus y1 equals m x minus x1. You have y minus 4, because that's the y-intercept, equals 3 over 2 x minus x1, which is 0, but I'm not going to write it. Therefore, the equation is just 3 over 2x, add 4 to both sides, you get plus 4. That is the equation of the line that has a y-intercept of 4 and is perpendicular to y equals negative 2 over 3x plus 3.